Now, back to Coastal Living on KZTV.
Please welcome Shannon Hughes and Brian McCoy with Hebert Irrigation Incorporated. Did I say that right? Hebert.
It depends.
How do we say it?
If you're from Louisiana, it's Hebert.
Oh.
We call it Hebert.
Okay, I kind of like a bear. I'm gonna call a bear irrigation to come and make sure my yard is good to go for spring. Congratulations, you all are celebrating 30 years.
Yes.
It's a huge accomplishment. Tell me what that means to you as a local business.
Well, 30 years for any business, of course, is that's huge. You got so much overhead and taxes and all kinds of stuff. But for irrigation company, that's just huge because it's so seasonal.
Yes.
Yes. So you got droughts, you have winter, you have rainy seasons that you got to work through, and that's tough.
Absolutely.
So for us to make it 30 years is a huge accomplishment.
Definitely.
Yes.
And what do you think sets you apart from other companies that provide irrigation systems?
Probably experience. We have licensed irrigators and licensed techs, and we've been doing it for 30 years, so we pretty much know the ins and outs of everything. So we do all the big commercial jobs. You got to have so much overhead and insurances and that type of stuff. And we go in there and get the job done.
Nice.
Yeah.
And for residential areas, you know, some people really take a lot of pride in their yards and they're out there with the sprinkler working it, making sure everything's taken care of. I'm the complete opposite of that. And everything is like dying before my eyes and I'm like, I'll get it the next day, I'll get it tomorrow. So that's one of the reasons I'm sure an irrigation system is in place for people like myself. But why else is it important to have something like that to kind of take care of it for you?
It saves water. If you go out, some people will turn a sprinkler on with a hose, start watching a show. You'll drown an area and starve another.
Yes.
With an irrigation system, it's kind of set it and forget it, other than making seasonal adjustments.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, and that's another thing that I would do is just forget that I put it out there in the first place. My bad. You hear the water running, you're like, what is that? What other services do you provide besides the irrigation systems?
We offer landscape lighting. We also do drain work.
Okay. So the landscape lighting is really trendy right now. More and more houses that I'm driving by have the fancy lights either coming up from the bottom or the top and sort of displaying all the hard work you put into your nice landscaping, because some people invest a ton of money into that and then they're not able to maintain it properly. So that's something you're able to help with.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. And you provide service to the coastal bend, but what surrounding areas do we cover? Because I know we've got a pretty wide range of viewers.
Yes, so anywhere from the island of Port A, Portland, out to Rockport, all the way out to Alice. It's pretty much the surrounding areas. We take care of all them.
Okay.
We do the installs for irrigation out there, lighting, drains, backflow testing. We do that as well.
Awesome. Okay, so you're taking care of all the stuff that we're not even thinking about really too.
Yes.
So that's important. What about budget-wise? Is this something that can be budget-friendly? I'm sure some people think a system, a new irrigation system, that's going to break the bank. No, thank you. Is there financing for these types of services, or is it something that is more affordable than we might think it is?
It just depends on how elaborate you want to go. We can work with a budget.
Okay.
Depending on the areas you want to get watered.
Great.
If some people are more worried about the flower beds than they are the grass, we can definitely work with you.
Okay, so something for everyone. Don't
Yes,
be
ma'am.
intimidated by the concept of a new system being installed. Okay, and it was, spring is around the corner, as I mentioned, and everyone knows who watches the show. I just can't keep anything alive but my dog, and that's about it. And my fish, for some reason, is still swimming. Do you have any pointers for people coming into spring about maintaining their yards, their plants?
Don't wait. It's getting hot. A lot of people make the mistake of turning their systems completely off for the wintertime, and that's one of the worst mistakes you can make. You do want to make adjustments because all of your components are water lubricated. So without the water running through them, when you decide to turn it on when it's hot, those things are dried out. You're going to have leaks. You're going to have things that don't work. So don't wait.
And long term, it can affect your driveway, your foundation,
Definitely.
even, right?
Oh, yes.
If the soil gets too dry underneath your house.
Definitely.
Okay, what are some other repercussions we're facing if we're not taking care of our yard properly?
You get water runoff when you do decide to use your system. If you're not regularly watering, like I said, the seals and whatnot will start leaking, so you're wasting water. We don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Water conservation is a big thing. Having us come out and check the timing on your system so that you don't get the runoff and you don't have the leaking heads, anything like that. We do want to save water. Water is a big thing.
Wonderful. And you mentioned leaking heads. I imagine that there can be some sort of buildup and stuff on the little nozzles. So you all maintain that as a part of the service?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. All right, so let's go over the details, guys. You want to make sure that you use Hebert. Did I say that right? Irrigation.
That's French.
French. Call today and get your irrigation system installed in your yard. Call 937-0912. And before we go, tell our viewers why we should go with Hebert Irrigation.
We have the best team in town, 30 years experience. We've been doing it a long time. We go out there, get the job done. We know what we're doing.
Awesome. And a good sized team to take care of all the people that you need to take care of.
25 to 30 employees depending on the season.
Awesome. So they'll be ready to accommodate you when you're in an emergency situation or just right now when you know that you need to just go ahead and invest in one. Thank y'all for joining us today. Learned a lot, and when I finally buy my first home, I'll call you guys to make sure I'm set up because I ain't gonna water my yard.
Sounds good.
We'll be there.
You're watching Coastal Living on KZTV. Get the scoop on all things local by following us on Facebook and Instagram. We'll be right back on Coastal Living.